personal computing. We've seen pixels light up, moving sprites across the screen.
All right, here we are.
And finally, rich, beautiful.
Hopefully it's working right. We're here with the Oculus stream.
This is primarily just a test for our
E3 stream stuff. Yeah.
We don't particularly care about Oculus all that much. We just felt it would be a good opportunity to test all this stuff out.
Hopefully it's working right. We're here with the Oculus stream.
This is primarily just a test. Did you change the name of the stream?
I did. I'm gonna test. I'm checking our audio levels with the stream's audio levels.
Maybe.
We literally threw all this together in like 0 seconds, which was pretty awesome.
It's really not wanting to load that.
Yeah. What is it doing?
Maybe do it from our home.
Here we go.
It's really not wanting to load that.
Yeah.
Oh, you have it muted, don't you?
What is it? All right, that's fine.
Different. Your subconscious would say, don't worry. It's just an image on a screen. It's a video game on a screen. Now imagine that T-Rex came crashing through this theater, hovering over you, 20, 30 feet tall, roaring, swooping down and making eye contact with you. I bet you'd feel a lot different. I bet most of us would get up and run out of here as fast as
For E3, we're going to want to set up with the TV like
That's
right
the
here.
magic of virtual reality.
Oh, like,
Yeah.
yeah, fucking see
that
shit.
incredible
Right.
and visceral feeling
Yeah, it'll be
that you
different.
only get in real life. But now
I'll have two of my monitors here and
Yeah, you
the
might as well
HDMI
just
run to the TV
bring them
there.
both.
And with the Oculus Rift, we're able to cross that threshold. We're able to finally deliver on the dream of virtual
Oh,
reality.
that's your sword. That's showing on the wall.
VR
We're also going to figure out where to put the cameras.
anything,
Yeah.
anywhere.
That's not a bad
It is
setup there.
that powerful.
No, it's
You'll
not
be
too
able to
bad.
Slip on a pair of Oculus goggles, and you'll be able to teleport to different worlds. For the first time, we will finally be inside of the game. This is going to change everything. Gamers have been dreaming of this. We've all been dreaming about this for decades, and it is finally here. This is the beginning of VR gaming. Today, I'm excited to show you the Oculus Rift.
I'm trying to stop myself from switching the tabs to check our stream.
Oh, right. Well, you have the Mac back there.
Oh, yeah.
Space!
Did it say what game this was?
No.
This is some weird tech demo.
There's nothing that will get me excited for this. Quarter 1, 20.
Really? Literally nothing?
I really don't
So
think
here it is. This is it. This.
Dude, stream quality is pretty good.
Are we local recording?
Yeah. For totes.
It's light. You can hold
That
it
guy
with
sort of
one
looks like that guy from Game Informer that we like a thinner
hand.
version
This
of him.
device,
Dan Tack?
you're going to finally be able to tell
I don't not like Dan Tack.
You're going to be immersed in
There's
games.
that.
You're going to experience games as you've always dreamed of experiencing them. This Oculus Rift is going to deliver the magic of presence, the feeling of actually being there, really truly believing that you're there. Your brain flips this switch. So again, the last 40 years, we've been experiencing incredible games on 2D surfaces. And we've been
So
trying
this
to
is
trick
live on our
brain to take
website
that
as
leap.
well, correct?
Yes.
And now, in virtual reality, in the Oculus Rift, you're going to find yourself reminding your brain that this is not real. You're going to be doing the opposite. You're going to try to convince yourself, don't worry, that dinosaur hovering over me, it's not actually real. It is a fundamental shift. It's a paradigm change, and it all begins now. So to pull this off, we had to have a really tight integration of hardware and software. It took years of development. to get this right. It took an amazing team, one of the best teams ever assembled.
Can you
Let's
sort of
take
see
a
that
closer look
okay?
at the Rift headset. We've designed a custom display and optic system that enables us to achieve comfortable presence. It features 2 OLED screens that deliver low persistence. So as you look around, there's no motion blur, there's no judder, there's no pixels. You're really there. You can focus on virtual objects. It feels like you just put on a pair of glasses. Maybe not quite as high resolution as you one day want, but this is the beginning, and it really delivers that magic of presence. That visual clarity is incredibly important, and the Rift delivers it. It also features a wide field of view so that you really feel immersed, and a new constellation tracking system. With this tracking system, you have very precise, low latency movement. We've refined this over years. It's amazing. You put it on, and you feel like you're there. You're instantly teleported. Now, this same tracking system can actually be used for other real-world objects. We'll get to that in a little bit later.
What did you just say?
So back to the sensor.
The tracking system they use, what they call the constellation tracking system, can be used for other real-world
It's
objects.
invisible once you put it down on your desk.
So maybe like
Plug it into the
controller
back of your
stuff?
computer, and you're
What he's
on.
talking
That's
about?
it. It just disappears. We wanted it to be incredibly simple and easy to use. Developers are going to be able to create all kinds of revolutionary experiences. Some seated, some standing. You'll be able to move around a little bit. This enables the future of virtual reality. The Rift's tracking system is precise, low latency, and you got that head movement, so you really feel like you're there. But the Rift doesn't just trick your eyes. It also tricks your ears. This was a really important part to achieving that level of presence, to believing you're there. It couldn't just be visual, it also had to be audio. You had to hear the sound effect happening right where you thought you saw it, and you can turn and look. You had to get that audio cue. Getting audio right is a critical component to achieving presence. And the Rift features an integrated audio system that we've, again, refined. We're incredibly proud of this. So let's take a look at T-Rex again. Imagine he's coming down this hallway. You hear him off into the distance. It needs to sound like he's off in the distance. As you turn and look and you feel the rumbling of him coming down the
We watched
hallway,
Jurassic Park last night.
all that audio
Yeah, we
must
did.
be spatialized. It must
Speaking
be
of
360.
dinosaurs.
Yeah.
It must
Speaking
match
of,
the
and
visual
tomorrow,
clarity.
Lego Jurassic World
That's
comes out along with the
what
movie
our
Jurassic
audio
World.
system is all about. And the Oculus Rift
Sure does. We doing a video?
Yeah, I have it on the coming soon because I didn't know if we'd be able to get it done before E3. Probably
We know
not.
that some people want to bring their own headphones. So we've made them really easy to take right off. They're removable.
Weird. They must be like Bluetooth or something.
Something else you'll notice right away, right when you get that Rift.
Or it's some sort of prioritized plug.
It's really lightweight. It's comfortable. You can slip it right on. We've been refining these ergonomics for years. The comfort of having this device on your head is very, very important. You don't want it pulling against your face. So we've spent a lot of time on the strap architecture. We've made it so that it, as tight as it is, so that it doesn't move around, it's not actually pulling against your face. So you can really be in there for a while enjoying the experience. Again, the goal is you put it on and it goes away. It disappears. We've dramatically improved the balance as well so that it feels very lightweight. When you put it on and you look around, you don't have
Do
this
we have
kind
a
of
full
device
screen?
hanging out over your head. It just disappears
Yeah, let me check that
Is that
out.
working?
and rests comfortably right on your brow.
Oh. That throws me off being able to see the mouse on the other screen.
You're going to toss it right on. It's going to be simple and
Um,
easy.
Hey. Oh.
I need to change these though.
Don't worry,
Along
people.
the way,
There's
everybody has a different
there's no
distance
Fallout
between
4
your
trailer.
eyes. Just a
done
little
yet.
difference.
Well, besides
We've added
the
a nice
announcement trailer.
convenient dial that allows you to adjust the lens distance. So you can get those lenses right in the center of your eye. It's incredibly important. This allows you to achieve, again,
There we
that
go.
extra level of comfort and presence.
Nailed it.
For instance, my distance is actually 64 millimeters. Palmer, on the other hand, is 72. He's got to adjust it. Everybody's a little different. You'll put it on,
Interesting.
move the dial, and you'll be right there. You'll be in. So we've created the facial interface so that it's removable, so that it's really easy to replace. That was also something that we learned over the years. And we've evolved the form factor to better accommodate glasses, something many of us have, including
All right.
myself.
I can respect that.
Finally,
That's a smart move.
is all wrapped in fabric.
I wonder what that does to the experience,
Feels
though. Like
incredible to hold.
adding different types of magnification to it.
We really wanted to make
Wonder
this
if that
a
messes
beautiful
with stuff.
I can't wait for you guys to get your hands on it. So that's a brief overview of the Rift, the headset. We talked about the custom display and optics to achieve presence, the wide field of view, the constellation tracking system for precise, low latency head movement, as well as the 360 spatialized audio, the integrated headphones, and the advanced, refined ergonomics, so that it feels really comfortable, really lightweight, right on your head. So that's the headset. Now, what about VR input? We wanted a device that developers and gamers understood, one that they're familiar
Stream
with.
looks pretty good.
Get right into. One that developers can use to build a huge number of different experiences, cover all different kinds of genres.
There's a mute switch on there,
One
right?
that's really
Oh,
robust,
there is.
well made. All of them out there. We built our own prototype.
Cody like slid all the sliders down
Long time. And
Like
one
so
of
sneeze.
he could sneeze. But I mean, I still got you on this mic, but that's fine.
including a game
But there's a
in
It would have been
switch.
way louder right now.
yeah. There's a mute switch per fader.
that
Sure
was
is.
the right move for game developers and gamers around the world.
It's alright. We're still learning.
Yeah, sure.
Many of
It's
us,
still
a game
pretty
added
much all new.
of who we are. It's something we've used for years, since we
Totally.
were kids. I
No
mean, these
Oculus
have
control.
decades of refinement in them.
Yeah, let's just
So today,
make more controllers.
I'm incredibly excited to announce that we're going to include a
I guess they would have
wireless
to.
Xbox One controller and
Oh, okay.
mounted in the Oculus Rift.
So the one controller you don't want to use.
The Xbox
I know,
One
Cody, you
controller
like
is
it.
designed by one of the
Yeah,
top teams
I
in
think it's
gaming.
all right.
To tell you more, I'd like to welcome Phil Spencer, head of Xbox.
Okay.
So I didn't realize Microsoft was heavily partnering themselves with Oculus. I didn't realize that.
That
Everyone.
could be.
I'm Phil Spencer.
That could be a
of
mess
Xbox.
for
I'm
Sony.
excited to be here to announce a
I don't
partnership
know.
between Microsoft and a leader.
Wow,
in
that's
virtual
pretty
reality.
big.
Yeah, partnership. Holy Moses.
The opportunity for us to bring our wireless controller, the one that we've spent so many years refining, to every Oculus user at launch is incredibly exciting for us, and we think unlocks the potential for game developers everywhere.
Wow, that's.
At Microsoft, we're incredibly focused on making
Holy
Windows
Moses.
a great operating system for
That's pretty big.
Like,
And
I
with
wonder if we'll
Windows
see
10
like
partnering
Xbox
with
One
Oculus,
bundles with
making
Oculus
the
down
very
the
best
device for-
operating system for Oculus Rift. We believe we will unlock
That
the potential of
might
millions of developers everywhere
get me to buy an
to create
Xbox One.
Incredible virtual reality.
For like that and Halo 5.
The Rift will natively work with Windows 10 to make it easy to.
That's
set up,
pretty
This
huge.
is pretty- yeah.
That's a bombshell right
Yeah,
there.
It is. It sure is.
And we
Of
all know
course,
that
Microsoft's like, oh man, this Oculus thing, this is going to be a big deal.
So that means Microsoft is heavily involved in both AR and VR.
With Oculus to ensure that those
Yeah, that's
experiences
interesting. I forgot that they have their own like.
that you will expect and the
headset.
gamers will expect. We believe we'll be able to create
Coming out.
state-of-the-art
Right,
virtual
right.
experiences on the Oculus Rift.
It's
Yeah.
interesting that they do this.
I mean, they're not. I guess they don't technically conflict with each other.
No.
Another
But
key
still,
area of
that's
focus for
crazy.
us that we talked about back in January was the ability to stream Xbox One games to Windows 10 devices. We think it was really important that we're able to bring
That's really
the greatness
cool.
of Xbox,
That's, like,
Xbox
really cool.
Live, and
New
all of the games
Xbox,
that people have created
One
to
Windows
PCs
10
and
integration.
tablets everywhere. I'm really proud to announce that that same streaming capability will be available for Oculus Rift.
Oh no.
People will be able to stream their Xbox One games, great Xbox One
That's
games
really
like
cool.
Forza, Sunset Overdrive.
Holy
Oculus
shit.
That's
using
really
tools that
cool.
they know and love. Something we've spent a lot of time perfecting, and the ability to work with the team at Oculus to create a virtual cinema where Xbox One games will show up, I think really pays off the value of people's investment in their games and obviously their investment in Oculus. We have a short video where we can show you what this looks like. Let's take a look at that now.
Oh, it's like a theater. That's how the VR works. So like when you have your VR, you're in like a room in a theater where the game is being played there.
That's bizarre.
That's crazy.
Windows is an open platform.
Holy shit.
Windows 10 will be shipping on July 29th. The partnership here is
Dude, the chat is awesome, by the way. Not our chat, but the official stream chat.
over the years in virtual reality.
They're like, sexist!
Years of history and a leadership position in helping the industry embrace this new technology, what it means.
This guy was like, a room within a room?
Uses in many different areas in the future.
Holy
On behalf of
shit.
Microsoft, I'm incredibly excited in what's in store as this partnership continues and the work that Oculus is doing
Dude, I might need an Xbox One.
Continues on. Thanks for your time.
I mean, I don't want to play with that controller ever,
That was a
but
big
I might
fucking
need an Xbox
announcement.
One. That's fucking crazy.
Thanks, Phil.
They just announced the
A
$400
little peek inside
terabyte.
what we're doing with Microsoft. There's going to be a lot more to come. You can imagine putting on that headset.
Ironically,
being in that
that's
virtual
what I
cinema,
just got paid
in the
today.
future, seeing your friends in there, seeing the other people you're playing.
Put it right onto an Xbox One?
You got a terabyte?
Xbox
in
One
paycheck?
or PC.
Yeah.
There's just
I got a
so many
terabyte
things
paycheck.
you can do.
Those would be some
The
figures.
Xbox One controller with the Oculus Rift is really exciting. I'm just thrilled to have that device in there. It's a terrific.
Thrilled to have their
controller.
money.
One of
in
the
the
Yeah,
store,
you-
too.
Yeah, you're thrilled to be integrated with one of the top market competitors.
Rapidly evolve. And we've been working on a lot of other things, which we'll get to in a bit. But a VR platform, this VR headset, the input, as it all comes together, really isn't worth that much unless there's incredible content. It's that content that really defines the experience. It's the content that makes you feel like you're there, enjoying these incredible worlds. I'm pleased to welcome Jason Rubin, head of Oculus Studios, to talk about some of these incredible experiences that you're going to enjoy at launch with the Rift.
Dude, I'm still like reeling from that. That's fucking
Yeah,
nuts.
that's crazy.
Yeah, what if there's a fucking Xbox One Oculus bundle?
40 years ago, Star Wars came out and blew the
Well,
world.
didn't
Star
they-
Wars? He just said Star
Some of
Wars,
my
bro.
7-year-old friends left the theater and they wanted to be Luke Skywalker. They wanted to be
Dude,
What?
He just said fucking Star Wars.
George Lucas. I wanted to
Is this how they're gonna try to sell this console?
What?
Or this?
Convinced my parents to buy me my first computer. And I immediately set out making games. Those games were ugly, they were 2D, they were pixelated, but they were a start. And eventually those games led to Crash Bandicoot and Jak and Daxter. Almost every developer I know has a similar story. And over the years, those developers have made better and better games as the hardware
He
got
said
better.
Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
There was always this unfulfilled promise, this distance between the players and the games and the worlds we were making for them, a window they couldn't step through, whether that was a monitor or whether it was a TV.
Did you just say Star Wars so I'd pay attention?
VR changes that. VR fulfills the dream. It lets you step through that.
That's a meme.
He
Find
said Star
ways
Wars,
to
right?
create
Yeah.
worlds that feel real. We've worked with some of the best developers and publishers in the industry to build an incredible lineup of made-for-VR games and experiences. And I'm thrilled to have some of those developers with us here today. I'd like to introduce you to Hilmar, the CEO of CCP.
Interesting.
It's great to be here and be a part of building the future of VR. Many people don't know this, but many of the founders and early employees of CCP actually started to work in VR 20 years ago. It was called VRML at the time, and it didn't really involve a headset, but it was VR to us. And since the launch of our first game, EVE Online,
Yeah, EVE Online is CCP.
We've kind of been blurring the lines
gonna be
between
Oculus, though?
what's real and what's virtual. In fact, our company vision is to create virtual worlds more meaningful than real life. And that sounds kind of a ballsy, crazy-ass statement, and we often kind of have turmoil within the company about it. But now, when we are truly...
Oh, I'm just reading on Facebook right now. Grand Theft Auto 5, there's a pricing mistake on Steam right now, and it is $20.
Damn.
You'll really get a chance to...
Eve Valkyrie.
If you go and play Eve Valkyrie on the
They
base game.
say,
Eve Valkyrie is quite a Cinderella story for us. A small group of developers in Iceland were so inspired by the Oculus Rift Kickstarter back in 2012 that they became backers themselves, and we, CCP, also became some of the early backers. And as soon as we got the kits, they started trying. And the team that put this together, like many gamers, were raised on Star Wars, Battlestar Galactica, Firefly, and played games like Wing Commander and X-Wing as kids, and of course, EVE Online. So it's no surprise that the first thing they did when they got the DK1s was a tech demo for a space shooter. But what's really the surprise was how much the concept of VR added to the experience, even back then with the original DK1. I remember it myself when I tried it for the first time in the CCP kitchen, where we had a little kind of show and tell. You could kind of imagine what it would be, but then when you could kind of figure out, you had your head like a joystick and you can track down with missiles, and then you look down at your body, and the first reaction was, what? These are not the clothes I put on this morning. It was a super powerful moment. We knew we had something special, and when we show it to our biggest fan gathering, which happens in Iceland every year,
so do you not need like a PC or console there? All the
No, they have towers right there.
Oh, there's towers.
So we
Okay.
did.
Yeah.
And with the final Rift hardware, we can say with confidence that Eve Valkyrie is the closest thing you're going to get to being a real spaceship fighter pilot.
Huh.
What we built is the essence of space dogfighting. You get in a ship, launch, and flight. No manuals, no pre-flight checklist, just pure combat. And because Valkyrie is built from the ground up...
Oh, that's cool. You got your capacitor on the left.
Showcases everything that's great about the Rift.
Oh, I love EVE Online.
When you put on your Rift and jump into Valkyrie, you're immersed in a 360-degree cockpit experience. The sights and sound create a sense of immersion. We all want it in space shooters. And when you combine the immersion and presence of VR with multiplayer combat, you get something that feels so real, it's more than real. That's why we love VR. We can't wait for you to get your hands on it when it launches next year, or next week at E3, and see your reception. So huge thanks to the Oculus team and the community for all your support.
I think he means it's going to be shown at E3.
Gameplay trailer.
Yeah, you can get your hands on it
Oh.
when it launches next year, or probably on the show floor at E3 next week.
Welcome, pilot. Begin systems check. Navigation systems online. Weapons online. Engines online. Magnetic catapult initialized.
Hold on tight, we're ready to deploy.
Launching in 3, 2, 1.
Dude, imagine this with a fucking flight stick. Oh my god.
Listen up. This is Lieutenant Kavik. Escort missions are pretty routine, so let's use the time wisely and brush up on your flight skills. Activate boosters and group at the waypoint.
I feel like this chick voiced some people in Halo, whoever's talking.
Where are you going, pilot?
No response from Esme 3 Tower. Hold bearing and continue approach pattern.
I don't like this. Something's up. Stay close. Havoc to all fighters. Align on Vector 3-9er.
This looks fucking sick nasty.
Oh shit.
Holy shit. It's fucking chaos.
I wonder how this is done. Like, you think aiming is all done with the head?
No, the head tracking is completely independent of the controls. So you can look around while you're going different directions. You can look around the cockpit and stuff while you're still flying forward.
We're taking heavy losses here. Now hold them on. You head for our last carrier.
Because this is very similar to a series of head tracking things I had looked into. This is similar to that. Oh shit.
See you in the next life.
That was pretty cool, man. I'm digging this music. Gunfire games.
Gunfire games.
See, like,
Hello, my name's
this is what I wanted to see for Oculus, is actual games, not like weird tech demo-y mini games.
Build a new world utilizing the power of virtual reality and Oculus. And we actually worked with Oculus on Hero Bound 1 and 2, and that was really our first foray into virtual reality development. But we realized very early on that the technology would drastically change the way we both played and
Come on, man, you gotta plant your feet. Quit
Hero
swaying.
Bound is the past. Today, I'm here to introduce you to a new experience we would like to take you on. It's called Chronos. Let's have a look.
Protos?
Think so? Protos or Krotos?
Interesting to see a third person.
I think that's what this is.
This strikes me as a very basic adventure game, just sort of a test.
Yeah, Chronos, okay.
Chronos is an atmospheric RPG that plays out of the course of a young man's life, chronicling his quest to free the land from the curse of an evil dragon. And central to his
Still
quest is
generic
an ancient
story,
labyrinth, one that only opens
Yeah.
once a year. But the labyrinth is the test. Each time the hero fails, he is cast out and must wait a year to return. So as the game plays out, our hero ages, and the gameplay changes significantly. As a young man, he's quick and nimble. As he grows older, he becomes a tougher and more seasoned warrior. And as an old man, he's frail, more reliant on his wits, magic, and knowledge of the vast labyrinth to overcome its obstacles and save his home.
That's kind of cool.
With Chronos, we really wanted to use the magic of presence to transform the player to a completely fantasy world. And so the environments in Chronos are just as memorable as the journey itself. You'll explore old ruins, vast caverns, and ancient tombs in search of the labyrinth's secrets, powers, and treasures. We want to invite you to join our hero and enter the realm of Chronos. Thank you.
Gunfire? Is that what you mean? Gunfire game? Oh, dude, Insomniac?
What?
What?
Thanks, David. I'm Ted Price from Insomniac Games. Edge of Nowhere is Insomniac's brand new third-person action-adventure exclusively for the Rift. Travel to the frigid reaches of the Antarctic in search of a missing expedition. As you venture deep into the unknown, You'll encounter a surreal world which will test you, it will twist you, and eventually it may break you. You're surrounded on all sides by the unexpected, and nothing is as it seems. Let's take a quick look at Edge of Nowhere.
Victor, if you find this, let me go. Only madness lies ahead. You must believe me.
Holy shit.
You shouldn't be here.
Interesting.
So Edge of Nowhere has been designed for VR from day one. This isn't an idea that we had and said, maybe VR would work for this. We actually have had a blast diving headfirst into VR and designing for a completely different player experience. It's been educational, it's been challenging, but it's also brought that thrill of exploring new frontiers, something we all love at Insomniac. Now, as someone who's been skeptical of VR, I've become a believer. Yet I don't think that happens until you put on a headset and dive into one of these worlds yourself. Selfishly, I hope all of you come by the Oculus booth at E3 and experience Edge of Nowhere. Thank you very much, and I'm going to turn it right back over to Jason. Thanks.
In addition to the games you just saw, we'll have more fantastic titles at E3. That list includes Damaged Core by High Voltage, a team that's done an incredible amount of work bringing the first-person shooter into VR.
Ooh.
VR Sports Challenge by Sanzaru, the football, baseball, basketball, and hockey simulator we all want and expect on the Rift. Esper from CodeSync, a game that gives you a taste of what it'd be like to have telekinetic powers. AirMech by Carbon, amped up for Rift. Is it an RTS or is it real life? And of course, Lucky's Tale from Playful, a game that most of you have already fallen in love with. All of these games will not only be at E3, they're going to be available on Rift.
Yeah, and dude, that Damaged Core one is definitely a mech game.
VR R&D that's been done by the teams involved. But this is only the beginning. We're partnering with a huge number of developers and publishers.
Square Enix is on there.
Experiences tailored specifically for the
Harmonix.
This is a partial
Guitar Hero Live.
We're going to have more
Ready at dawn.
for you as we get closer and closer towards launch.
Order.
2016 is going to be an absolutely incredible year for gaming. So I'm going to
I can't.
Yeah, he's saying a lot of the stuff is coming next year.
We'll look at what's to come.
Well, quarter one's coming, or I mean, Oculus is coming quarter one.
Right. I don't know how many games will be available for it, but let's see.
Oh, that's pretty. That's neat. Like, even if you don't like sports, that's.
Huh.
Funny, these are all like games you would expect from like to be launch games.
Yeah, these are all. They're clearly launch games.
They fit that launch game spectrum.
Yeah, where it's just a wide genre of games that are trying.
That are just very
trying it out.
Very just, you know, they're not doing anything super crazy. They're just
Right,
very,
right.
you know.
They're just showcasing different ways to use the tech.
Hello and good morning. For a lot of us, game developers are our heroes. They're brilliant, creative, and they've taken us on incredible journeys since we were kids. My parents and I played all the Sierra Adventure games together. And when I was in high school, I remember when my dad had to get a second phone line for the house because I was always connected to Ultima Online. Gaming got me into programming and into this incredible industry to begin with. I believe virtual reality is going to inspire a whole new generation of game developers. And at Oculus, we're committed to building the best platform for VR games. That means supporting established studios, small independent teams, and everyone in between. And thousands of developers all over the world have already joined us on this journey. With the Rift, anyone can be a creator. A few simple clicks, and you can build your own mountain in Unity and check out the view from the top in VR. Over the last 3 years, we've worked closely with both Unity and Epic Games to make Unity 5 and Unreal Engine 4 amazing tool sets for Oculus. Native support is free, and it works right out of the box. Targeting Oculus is easy and simple. But it's not enough to just have great hardware and software. Developers needed a way to share their work with Rift users around the world. Early on, we created Oculus Share, a portal where developers can share their games, experiments, and first forays into VR. This was a great start to a VR gaming ecosystem where teams can freely experiment. Over the next several months, we're going to be revamping Share. We're going to make it more vibrant and active, with more ways for people to try these creations. Indie developers have created some of the most innovative and interesting games in the last decade. Who would have thought we would all enjoy spending hours running around as a boy made of meat?
I mean, as cool as like playing a game on that would be, that looks really stupid when you wear it.
Yeah, the whole point though is that you can't see yourself,
Right.
so you don't know how stupid you look until after the fact.
Entirely new genres in VR and taking us all on incredible adventures.
People are going crazy with the Super Meat Boy emojis on the chat.
Today I'm pleased to announce
Official
that
chat.
we will be investing more than $10 million toward accelerating the development of these sorts of innovative,
Whoa!
Holy moly.
independent games on the road.
Independent games.
And we're excited to have you join
$10 million indie game acceleration budget. That's crazy.
And now to tell you more about the user experience in the Rift is Nate Mitchell, VP of Product at Oculus.
I should probably have you taking notes.
Oh, yeah.
That's okay.
Good morning, everyone. The Rift has always been about delivering the technology that unlocks true next-generation gaming. We grow up daydreaming about really being there, stepping inside our favorite game. But for the first time with the Rift, we can actually live that experience. We've designed the Rift software and user experience from top to bottom for gamers. On the Rift dev team, one of the top priorities is making sure that it's an absolutely seamless experience to jump straight into VR. We've been working hard with Microsoft, NVIDIA, AMD, and a number of top PC manufacturers to make this a reality. The goal is that the Rift just works right out of the box. As
That'd be nice.
We're developing new system software for the Rift that we call Oculus Home. We've built Oculus Home for VR.
Yeah, what does that look like?
First and foremost. Home is your
The shitty cluttered Windows Microsoft bullcrap.
games together in one place. This makes it the perfect jumping off point for everything in the Oculus universe. We've designed it to be lightweight and efficient, putting as little between you and your games as possible. When you put on the Rift, you're going to drop straight into Oculus Home. We have a virtual environment that you'll land in. Here, I can check out my games library. Maybe I want to play something right now. Or maybe I want to check out some of the top games that others are playing. Let's say I'm interested in learning more about Chronos. You can't convey what a VR game will be like through a video or a screenshot.
It's true.
Because we're already here in virtual reality, we can put you straight into a VR preview of the game before you even buy it. You can actually look around the scene from the Chronos Labyrinth. We've got this huge golem standing there with you. And I can buy Chronos right here from VR, and I'm ready to play. Home also lets you see what your friends are doing in the Rift and what they're playing right now. We can see here that Palmer's actually causing some havoc.
I mean, we know what a dashboard is.
Yeah.
And I can join him directly from VR and dive straight into the fray without ever taking the Rift off. This is super important.
I agree.
We've also built a 2D interface for Oculus Home. You can browse the store, stay in touch with your friends, and manage your games and downloads without putting the headset on. So that's a preview of Oculus Home. We're going to be talking more about Home and all the other features of the Oculus platform at Connect 2 this September. From all of us on the Rift dev team, we're really excited to be gaming with you guys in VR next year. Thank you.
Thanks, Nate. So there you have it. Today we've covered the absolute best VR headset, the Oculus Rift. The bundled Xbox One controller, the Xbox One streaming, the tight integration with Windows, and this incredible amount of content, experiences, and user interface, all designed specifically for virtual reality. Virtual reality is really unlike anything else, and Rift is simply the best way to experience it. And you'll be able to get your Rift Q1 2016.
Interesting they're not.
Yeah.
So next week is E3, and this is going to be the biggest show for Oculus yet. Everything you saw today, you're going to be able to try on the show floor. Later today, you can jump on, grab the app, and register for your demo. Not quite yet. You don't need to all pull out your cell phones. This is later today. And we can't wait to see you there. We can't wait to show you what we've been working on. But before we go, there's just one more thing that we really want to show you. Something that we've been working on for quite a while. You've heard us say input is hard. Well, it is. But we got it right. I'd like to welcome Palmer Luckey, close friend and colleague, to the stage.
Is that treadmill thing?
I don't know.
Good morning, everybody. Sorry for getting you all up so early at 10. We started Oculus years ago to enable new experiences that would transform gaming and entertainment.
Oh, he's the founder.
For virtual reality. We've talked a lot today about how we're doing that with the Rift, but we're not done yet. We've been working on virtual reality input since the very earliest days of Oculus, always looking at ways to open new experiences that are only possible with cutting-edge future technology. Now, we see virtual reality input evolving over the coming years, and there will be different inputs for different types of games, especially as developers optimize content for different kinds of games. Remember, developers have been working with gamepads for years in VR. They've proven that you can make really compelling content with a gamepad. And a lot of these partners we've been working with, we've been working for 1 or even 2 years on these projects, and it's really fantastic to be here showing them off. But
this is a new Oculus controller.
In lots of different forms, depending on what kind of experience you're looking for. Brendan talked about how excited we are to include the Xbox One controller as part of the Rift, to make sure that developers have something that they can target, that they know every single person who has the Rift will have, something that they can design their game to work very effectively with. And the Xbox controller is a key part of the current virtual reality puzzle. For example, it's currently the absolute best way to play games like Lucky's Tale, Edge of Nowhere, or Eve Valkyrie. It just is.
Apart from a better controller.
Future games and future experiences that can only be unlocked with a different input device. I've seen thousands of people inside the Rift now. I've given thousands of demos. And one of the first things that a lot of people do is they reach out into this virtual world. It's something entirely new to them, and it's a natural reaction to something that they've never experienced.
Oh, is this one of those hand motion things?
We wanted to create an input device that actually lets people reach out, that lets those people interact with objects in the virtual world. Let me show you what we've been working on. This is Oculus Touch. These are going to take virtual reality gaming to the next level. Come on, let's clap. Let's do it. Woo! Super hot. Oculus Touch is a pair of track controllers that we've created to take VR to the next level.
That was graceful.
These are feature prototypes for Oculus Touch, a set of prototypes that we've codenamed Half Moon. We wanted to enable the best and absolute widest range of virtual reality experiences. And to do that, we had a number of goals for the Half Moon project. First, we wanted to deliver hand presence, the sense of feeling as though your virtual hands are actually your real hands. This is critical to nailing the sense of overall presence.
This could be
When you have
cool.
your hands involved, you really need tracking to be
I mean, they look
absolutely
dumb,
perfect, accurate,
but you can't see that they look dumb.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Precise manipulation of virtual entities in the virtual space is also absolutely critical. For example,
It's like with your hands and stuff, like guns and all that.
And then fire
It'd be
it,
cool.
throw it, or drop it effortlessly without even having to think about it. This required a lot of design on how to make the controller interactions as natural as possible.
Allows you to interact
Overall,
with.
we wanted a design that was low mental load, something you wouldn't have to think about, something that would let you use these controllers effortlessly, like you use your real hands in the real world. We also wanted to enable communicative gestures for social interactions. Imagine pointing, waving, or giving a thumbs up. These are the types of experiences that Half Moon enables. And another priority was including proven traditional inputs, like buttons and analog sticks. We want to enable a lot of different kinds of virtual reality experiences. Entirely new VR-only experiences, genres of games that have been around for decades that are being brought into VR, and also hybrid experiences that incorporate the best of traditional input with the best of virtual reality input. Buttons and analog sticks are still around for a reason. They've been proven to be a great way to interact with complex games. They're something everyone knows how to use. They're something that developers have proven is critical for a lot of different types of genre, like simulation or platforming. Those types of inputs are not going anywhere. Finally, Oculus Touch needed to be lightweight and ergonomic. It had to be easy to get in and out of, and it had to be comfortable for extremely long periods of play, whether you're standing and reaching out into the virtual world, or whether you're sitting on your couch with your controllers resting in your lap. See that? Resting on my lap. So we've built the Half Moon prototypes with several key features. There's 2 controllers, one for each hand. You have 2 hands. They're mirror images of each other, like the 2 hands that you have.
I was just thinking, when you know that tweet from
Bethesda
about Fallout 4,
unencumbered
you have a second controller.
They have integrated high-precision, low-latency
That's stupid.
leveraging the same constellation tracking
But what if?
that we use in the Rift, along with integrated inertial measurement units. Now, each of these Half Moon controllers has a traditional analog thumbstick, 2 buttons, and an analog trigger. But they also have something else that we call the hand trigger. You can see the trigger right there under my middle finger. Imagine using this to pick up a virtual gun and then using your index finger to fire it. Touch also includes haptics that developers can use to deliver feedback when you're interacting with objects in the virtual world, so that you can
There's a
actually
button
feel the thing
underneath you with your middle finger.
Finally,
Like a
though,
Wii U nunchuck?
Touch can detect a set of finger poses using a matrix of sensors
like that.
mounted throughout the
It's like
entire
underneath
device.
it.
Together, they work to recognize natural hand poses like pointing, waving, or giving a thumbs up. We built a new demo for Oculus Touch showing this off that we call Toybox, and we'll be showing it off for the first time to the public at E3. Toybox is actually our internal prototyping test bed that we've used to design the Half Moon prototypes and to experiment with new features and interactions. It's really a great sandbox for playing with things. You can light explosives, dual-wield laser guns,
All these
pull
things I've
robots
ever wanted to
limb
do.
from limb, punch
Right.
garden gnomes, play tetherball.
No.
Just a lot of really fun interactions.
Dude, I hate garden gnomes. I want to punch them all day.
Natural reality input. And one of the coolest things about Toybox is that it's a social experience. It's a multiplayer experience. You're actually in a space with another person using the controllers far away, but you feel like you're in the same place. And what's amazing about that is that as the experience gets more natural, you start to actually feel like you're in the same place with this person. You start to wave to them or to gesture to things so that they can pick them up. And you do it without even thinking about it because you kind of feel like the person is really there in the room with you, even though they're actually down the hall in one of the other test pods. We really think that Oculus Touch is going to surprise you, and I'm really excited to show off Toybox to a lot of people. I'll be actually running a lot of the demos at E3, so we might get a chance to play together. So that's Oculus Touch. We think that they're going to deliver an entirely new set of virtual reality experiences, and we can't wait to see what developers have in store. The last few years have been incredible for virtual reality. Things have come so far, so fast. If you were to show someone a video of this event today. Or heck, even all the technology that's in the virtual reality industry across all these different companies, not just Oculus. If you took a video of that and showed it to someone 3 or 4 years ago, they would have thought that it looked like a science fiction film. It would have been a perfect cue. But this isn't science fiction. This is reality. And it's happening
It's
today.
virtual
I'll
reality.
see all of you at E3.
I don't know. I think the Microsoft whole integration.
That's the most exciting part of it. Streaming your Xbox game onto it.
Is that it? I think that's it.
Alright, I haven't tested this out. How does this look? Nice! Alright, so that's the Oculus stream thing. I'm gonna go and shut their music off. Womp. So yeah. Boom. Cody, what do you think?
Well, let's run through it. What did they start off with?
Let me pull up that thing. Crap.
Can you add the text source?
I don't know if that was...
Let's switch over.
Yeah, that was a global source.
Yeah?
Yeah. Add global source. Scroll. Yes.
Hey, there it is.
Alright, I'll hide it and then bring up the text. Haha! So they announced, Microsoft announced the partnership with Oculus.
So clearly that's the biggest thing, at least in my opinion, that took place.
Yeah, I think that's freaking ginormous
The
and
fact,
huge.
the whole. I mean, I knew you could do like the Windows 10 streaming integration thing.
Right, I didn't realize it was going to be like streaming your Xbox games onto the Oculus.
I think it was confirmed a while. I could be wrong, but I think it was confirmed a while back that Microsoft was working with Oculus, but I didn't realize maybe at the time it was to that extent.
Right, like an actual partnership. I thought they were just working with them to make like projects. I didn't know it was a partnership.
But that's some big news.
Yeah, that's pretty big. The Eve Valkyrie gameplay. I know you're not that big into like
I thought it looked
flight
very
sims.
just okay.
Yeah, I think it.
I mean, like we said, every one of those games just looks like a launch. Just like a
yeah, but that that's also coming from our perspective of sorry, that's also coming from our perspective of like we're not there with the headsets on. Yeah, that's the hardest thing about VR is showing
like that
people.
guy said, you can't.
Over the internet, and like it sounds like a lame excuse when they say it, but I am inclined to agree with them in that something like that, an experience like that, can't be shown to someone.
You can't watch a trailer.
You have to experience it for yourself and try it. That's why I think like having demo systems like at Best Buys and things like that, that's going to be really important at major retailers.
Especially you're not even going to want to maybe buy an Oculus unless you.
I would never buy an Oculus unless I had tried it.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely not. It's too much money to just sink.
They'd have to have demos or something.
Yeah, I mean, like you just got your Apple Watch, and I mean, you would never have bought an Apple Watch without having gone to the store and checked it out first.
Right.
Like,
that's a lot of money to spend on something that you don't know if it's something that you want.
Yeah, several $100s. Like, I mean that.
So I agree with you. There has to be demos if that thing's going to sell. Like, there has to be. I mean,
right.
I mean, I'm sure it'll sell okay because there are a lot of like developers and just people in general that are like really into that and really just know that they want that. But in order to expand their market and really meet the sales that they're wanting, they're going to have some sort of, like you said, Best Buy having setups or something.
Right. Yeah, I think that would be the smartest marketing move is to have demo systems set up at some major retailers. Even I don't know how much they would want to partner with GameStop or whatnot, but I know Best Buy is always like a go-to for Nintendo. So I don't know whose Microsoft would be. Maybe GameStop. I don't know. But either way, I think it's important to have that kind of thing. The Chronos trailer.
No, they're just
the trailer didn't didn't get me interested, but then his description of it, of progressing through the years, essentially playing as 3 different characters that are the same character, different skills and strengths, and experiencing the labyrinth and all that kind of stuff. That sounds kind of interesting. It seemed like it was a third-person game, so third-person Oculus games. I'm interested to see how that works.
I feel like I would enjoy a third-person Oculus game.
Yeah,
it takes you a little more out of the experience.
Well, I don't know if I'd enjoy it more, but it would be nice to not have every game be through the eyes of the character. Then Insomniac revealed Edge of Nowhere.
I'd like to point out that our stream only cut out one time.
Yeah.
It was during that.
And it was for like a second or two.
I don't think we missed. I think that was the.
I think that was the end part of it. Yeah.
But anything Insomniac does is typically really good.
I agree. It seemed like it was sort of had like a pseudo horror vibe, and then like almost Uncharted-y.
Yeah, there was like a giant thing that like stomped down. It was like huge.
Yeah, and then he was in that room and like the weird tentacle things coming in and the whispering voice. Yeah, that's a weird thing. I'll have to rewatch that footage, and check that out again. Then Unreal Engine 4, Unity 5, out of the box compatible. That's really cool.
Devs can make games and stuff.
Yeah, like just get started right away.
There was also that $1 million pledge to indie development.
10 million.
10 million.
Yeah, it was $10 million to accelerate indie development.
Great.
For small studios, which is very important. I think that's just a move for them to try and fill out the library for it as fast as possible. Then the Oculus Home UI looks just like the Xbox One thing, and it looks like shit if you're not into that. Oculus Touch controllers.
They look stupid, but like you
they
said,
look dumb, but they could function really well. Because what that band does is not only does it track the position of your hands, but also tracks your fingers as they move out and within the circle. So that could be really, really interesting. The whole Oculus thing, it seems to me that it's because there are ways to compensate for loss of limbs or digits and things with a controller. The whole Oculus thing seems like for certain impairments and things, those people are not going to be able to experience it, which sucks. But I mean, at least they're really tying themselves down to a controller, which is the Xbox One controller, and so that. Like standard dual analog stick, 8 face button controllers people have found ways to utilize those. I know there are people who play with their feet who don't have any hands. They can play games with their feet.
Takes skill.
Yeah. The Oculus Toy Box, is that the last thing that I had? Yes. So the Oculus Toy Box
was like a demo for their touch.
Yeah, it's like a it's like a playroom, kind of a tech demo, sandboxy type thing where you can just do a bunch of weird stuff for their for the touch. And that was a conference.
I'm glad we did this. We've learned some things that we need to do.
Yeah, about streaming
for our E3, which is going to be crazy.
Yeah, that's going to be insane. So one thing I noticed, actually no, I'll talk to you about it after the stream. But yeah, boom, Oculus.
Are we uploading this on the site?
Maybe. I'll check the recording and see if it's okay quality, and then I'll also check the archived footage and see if that's okay to just pop on over to YouTube, and then we'll share it on the site. I'll compare and contrast the two. But yeah, boom, we're done. So thank you all for joining us, whether you were watching live or watching post.
See you tomorrow?
Yeah, possibly tomorrow for Casual Fridays. So, see ya.